What's up, y'all? It's MacAction coming at you with another reaction. Today we're kind of doing something a little different. I was actually searching for a JP video, and I ran across like Hasan. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he's some kind of streamer. I don't know too much about him, but I ran across him criticizing a JP video, and it's very recent, right? And I kind of noticed like he has some bad takes on it. I don't know the guy personally, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Let's check it out.
Watch this though. This is apparently exactly in the same light as that one.
Jordan Peterson gets emotional.
Work as hard as you can at your damn job for like 6 weeks, right? All flat out. You know, if you work 10% longer hours, you make 40% more money.
False. Straight up false. Absolutely made up.
So I don't know about these exact number, but obviously if you work 10% longer hours, you will make more money. That's just a fact. So saying that, I guess maybe he's saying this number isn't completely accurate. I don't know. I would have to do the math, but I'm sure if you work 10% more, you'll make more, right? So I don't understand how. Let's see what he means by false.
He did not get that statistic from anything, okay? That is a completely made up false statistic. The only thing that
That's possible, but knowing Jordan Peterson, I'm sure the statistic isn't completely false. I'm sure that number comes from somewhere. So assuming he didn't get that number from anywhere, it's just sort of being in bad spirits because you don't know. Maybe text him and ask him where you got that number from. Maybe he seems like he has a high enough sub count, someone who can get in touch with Jordan Peterson's people. He can tweet him, ask him where you got that number from, instead of just assuming that that number is completely false, right? That's what it seems like he's doing, assuming the number is false for his own benefit.
is real in this situation is the top of the hour ad break, okay? If you get a subscription for $5 a month or for free with a Twitch Prime, you have a chance to 100% avoid the top of the hour ad break, okay? Obviously, you have a 25% chance of avoiding the ad break if you get like a gifted sub.
What's it got to do with him making money?
I made up that statistic. That's not a real one, but hey, you can play that game as well. But at the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break. If you want an ad-free broadcasting experience, all you need to do is subscribe.
Oh, okay.
If you don't get gifted a sub like from one
Clever.
Pizza, here's the 1 minute ad break. Now,
Clever.
Jordan Peterson gets emotional. It will give you goosebumps. Listen carefully. Thank you, Sills Design, for the 5 gifted subs as well.
That's something worth thinking about. You know, you've got a job. Maybe you show up 15 minutes early and you leave 15 minutes late.
Why?
He said why? Well, because if you show up 15 minutes early, that shows you're more dedicated to your job, to the people who are watching you, to the top people who are paying attention. And also, if you clock in 15 minutes early, a lot of places, I'm a working class individual. I know some places I've worked, a lot of them, you are allowed to clock in 15 minutes early. I'll clock in and just, go prepare for work, right? And also 15 minutes late, same thing, right? That's extra money in your pocket. You doing 30 minutes a day extra, right? That's more money in your pocket.
Absolutely zero reason. What is hilarious to me.
What's hilarious?
I'll just say this. A lazy worker is a smarter worker.
False. A lazy worker doesn't mean you're smarter. There may be some smarter workers that are lazy, but it's just not generally just a fact. So him stating that is already like a lie, right? A lazy worker is smarter. I ain't even got to hear what he's about to say. That's just automatically false, right?
Than one who works hard unconditionally. Okay?
Works hard unconditionally. So, okay. Seems like he's just like making a scenario already. Like, how about somebody who just works hard a lot, right? Why does it got to be unconditionally?
Because if you are doing wage labor for someone else, and this is going to be very frustrating for people because your entire life people have told you have to work hard. You have to work harder than everybody else, and like you'll be gifted, you'll be celebrated. Like people will fucking give you.
That is not untrue. Working hard, lots of people celebrate hard work. Whenever you see people working hard, it's hard not to celebrate it. It's hard not to be proud of these individuals. And lots of people get ahead from working hard. Lots of people get ahead from figure out ways to beat the system. People get ahead both ways. It depends on who you are and how you do it, right? It's not just you get ahead more because you're lazy, or you get ahead more automatically because you work hard. Working hard will get you ahead. It depends on how you're putting in your work when you're working hard, right? I mean, just assume you don't get anywhere from working hard is ridiculous.
You know, people will venerate you. They'll accomplish, you know, they'll love how much you've accomplished, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
This obviously does not extend to people who are working for themselves.
I had some people come do some work in one of my houses for me, right? My only house, not one of them. And I, you know, rewarded them for the hard work. I gave them extra pay because I saw they were working really hard. And I don't have much money, but I saw how hard they were working, and I paid them extra. So I was like, wow, these guys are so dedicated to their job. They deserve for me to give them extra money, right? I've even been to the bar before, saw a bartender swamped, just moving like it was no tomorrow. And I tipped her you know, a lot more than normal, right? Working hard does get you ahead. Not all the time. It's definitely possible, more possible than being lazy.
Okay, or working on themselves rather. But I'll tell you this much. A lazy worker is technically smarter than a harder worker.
Not true. Lazy worker isn't technically smarter than a harder worker. Jesus Christ, man. It seems like he's just criticizing to criticize. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't like Jordan Peterson for some reason, but obviously this message that Jordan Peterson is presenting isn't malice, right? It's actually to try to help people. So if he doesn't see that, that's kind of like messed up, right? And just to attempt to make the message look like something that it's not, is just, I don't know what kind of individual you have to be. I don't want to judge the guy because I don't know him personally. I try to avoid doing that. I'm not perfect, but just doesn't seem right to me, right? To just try to crush someone's message because you don't like the guy. And when obviously the message is to help people, right? And it probably has helped people. Jordan Peterson has, as he stated before, lots of people who send him letters that he's helped them, right?
Because the reality is that you as a worker want to work the least amount of time for the most amount of pay.
I mean, that might be true, right? You do want to do less for more. That is optimal for you as an individual. You make more for less. Yes, that's true.
It's normal.
That doesn't mean that you're going to be in that situation, right? That doesn't mean that's always possible for you. That doesn't mean being lazy is going to get you further, right? If someone is doing less and making more than you, that guy's not smarter. He just, you know, he could be smarter. It's possible he's smarter, but he just found an area to where he can do that. But if you're working hard and getting ahead, you're also someone who is doing something that's working, right? Maybe you're working hard and still getting paid way more than you should. That's a possibility too. And maybe you like working hard. Some people are just really hard workers because they like it. Maybe it gives them a workout. Maybe there's so many other benefits to them working hard. Right?
Your boss wants you to work the most amount of time for the least amount of pay.
That's possibly true.
Okay.
If that's your, you know, I've been a boss before and I've never wanted that for people. I was in the United States Army for a while, and I wanted my people that I was in charge of to go home as early as possible. I never wanted them to do more than they should. I couldn't wait to figure out how to get these guys home early, right? So that's also false. That's a case by case basis. I don't know if that's generally true or not. It could be generally true, but that's definitely not always true, right? Depends on the person. Absolutely depends on the person.
This is the antagonism and the conflict of interest built into the heart of capitalism, this system. Okay? So
what system does he think is better than this system? I want to know. I don't know much about the guy, like I said. So what system does he prefer? Right? Is it some system that we can look at and say, hey, it's working way better somewhere else? Because I would like to see proof. I wouldn't just, this is some point that I couldn't argue because I absolutely don't know if there's a system that works better. Maybe I should do some research. Someone in the comments, let me know.
You're working, you got to work super fucking hard. You got to fucking do everything you can and you'll get paid more. That's bullshit.
It's not bullshit. It's highly possible. There's lots of people who work hard who make more. This is a weird argument. A weird criticism.
And you will certainly never get paid exactly the amount of value that you bring with your labor. That will never happen. Why?
That's false. It depends on like where you're working. If you can also open your own company and charge the labor prices you would like to charge. You can do this stuff in a capitalistic society, right? Not saying it's easy, but it's definitely possible. It's about how possible things are, right?
Because of what is known as profits. A company cannot have profits if they pay their workers the fair due. If they actually pay their workers.
Don't know if that's true. Depends on the profit margins. It could be true. He could have done way more research on this than I have ever even seen. So I would never argue that point I would argue the point, but not until I have looked at it more. That might be case by case basis too. But it sort of makes sense, right? But that's not to the detriment of Jordan Peterson's message, right?
Exactly how much money their workers are generating, then there's no profits. Okay?
Okay.
Profits are surplus labor value extracted from the workers. That's just it. Simple as. Simple as. All right? Simple as, prof.
And maybe it depends on what exactly the value of labor is. Like, it depends on where you're working. I've worked like at places where I felt I was getting paid too much for the kind of job it was. Even though it was still low wages, it was only like $25 an hour. But I was just like greeting people at the door. I felt like I was ripping the company off. I didn't do much, right? But I came in early though, and I left late, and I made sure I helped everybody there, and I made sure I put in my work. But I felt like I was getting paid. And then we also got a bonus, right? On top of that, every year. And the bonus usually was always like $6K or more, right? And then sometimes we get tips and stuff like that. But I felt like I wasn't doing much for what I was making, right? So I don't know. Maybe they valued their workers more there, or maybe they value me more. Who knows?
What about the capital that the capitalist risk, though? I don't give a fuck about the capital that the capitalist risk.
There
are already protective mechanisms there. And the thing that capitalists are fucking risking, ultimately, is to become a worker once again. And man, they treat that like it's death. Why? Because they know how they treat the workers. That's why. It's not like when you lose your capital, you get fucking...
Like, what is the ideal... I asked this already, but what is his ideal, like, kind of society, right? He doesn't like a society where you can make a product and then pay people to help you create this product and sell it for more. And obviously the reason you're doing this is so you can make more money off of your product, but people voluntarily work for you because you're going to pay them something decent, you say, so you could keep creating this product that you came up with. What's wrong with you coming up with something, hiring people to help you produce it? Something you came up with as maybe your genius self, and you want to create lots of this product for the world, and you want to hire people to do this product, to help you make this product, and you want to pay them, but you can't overpay them or else you won't make any money from doing it. Therefore, you have no reason or incentive to do this, right? This is an incentivized structure too, right?
Killed. It's not like when you lose your capital, you fucking go to jail. When you lose your capital, you risk becoming a worker once again. And because you, the capital owner, absolutely destroy all of your fucking workers and exploit them and take their surplus labor value, you do not ever want to get back to that position. Every capital owner that owns a small business, that owns a big...
I mean, in the end, you work where you want to work. He's making it seem like you don't choose your job, right? I don't think this guy, I don't know if he's ever had a job or not, or he's definitely doesn't seem to be all the subscribers I see. I'm just assuming, right? I could be wrong. Let me know that he doesn't work. So he has no idea about that type of life. He's just criticizing it, saying what you can't do and what's not possible, and how they're being exploited. You're not being exploited, first of all, if you volunteer. If you volunteer to do something, you're not being exploited, because you can volunteer to do something else for a different wage somewhere else. You can go wherever you want, essentially.
Big business knows this reality, that the biggest fear that they have in their heart of hearts is to one day become a worker again to a boss like themselves.
That's possible. You know,
That's it.
Still no reason to criticize this message, which is intent for good.
You know, and
Right.
Comes from a guy who's never had a job. That's right, baby.
Oh, he's never had a job? He's proud of it. Legit criticism then.
Baby.
Work, and your boss notices, because he would probably notice, and then maybe someone's going to get promoted, and maybe
That's
it'll
possible.
be you, because something's going to tilt the scales, and that little extra bit of work done without cynicism and resentment might be enough. Well, he said he started at $21 an hour, and in 6 weeks he was making $37.
That's a hell of a raise.
It's not a
6 weeks.
ransom, man, but it's a hell of a lot more than zero, and it's quite a lot more than 21.
Yeah.
He said his life had turned around substantially because he learned if he put some damn effort into it. And I'm not trying.
Oh, the personal anecdotes of a singular individual that was...
Personal anecdote of a singular individual. Sometimes a singular individual is all you need. Observation is pretty good in letting you know how the world works, right? If you observe somebody doing something, and to you that's anecdotal, you can go tell somebody else about it, and you try to do what he's doing in the same manner, that might work. Just because it's anecdotal doesn't mean it won't work. That's a silly way to think.
Was rewarded for working harder by a boss that noticed.
Yeah.
Is actually what we should pay attention to in this circumstance.
Why not? Why isn't it something you should pay attention to? Why not? Why pay attention to something less? Why can't you pay attention to that situation, right? Why not?
Despite it going against their best interest to do so.
Why would it go against their best interest?
Like, I know that people hit runs of bad luck, and that things can take you out of life, right?
Right.
Unfortunate illnesses and betrayal.
All around
like,
good
there's
message,
no
guys.
shortage of randomness and horror that can wipe you out, even if you're doing your best. But you don't
And look at this
have
guy.
a better-
He's sitting here trying to pick apart a positive message. That says something, bro. But if he has a personal vendetta with Jordan Peterson, let me know. I don't know. Maybe Jordan Peterson did something to him in the past. I'm not sure. But this just seems like malice at its highest level almost. Wow. Just watching him just stare this message down so he can pick something apart, right? A positive message, right? And he probably doesn't even regard it as positive, just because maybe he's blinded by his hatred towards the person. Anything the person does, he probably doesn't even want it to be. He doesn't consider it positive just because of that, right? That's an emotional state of thinking, if that's the case, right?
bloody plan than to do your best, and it tends to work a lot better than you think. And what's so interesting about the hierarchies that people set up is that that's how they're set up. They're not set up on power. They're set up on reciprocity.
Hierarchies are not set up on power? Then how are hierarchies defended?
He just said they're not set up on power. They're set up on reciprocity and skill and trust. Right? Just because they're set up on those particular things doesn't mean they can't be defended by power. It's a whole different thing. They're just not set up based on power. Someone at the top of their class, at the top of the hierarchy in their class, that hierarchy isn't defended by power. What are you talking about?
Without power, a hierarchy is just someone being like, I'm cooler than you.
So it's still a hierarchy.
That's it.
That's not it, but that is an hierarchy.
Hierarchies are nothing without power.
No, they're definitely stuff without power. It depends on what hierarchy you're talking about. There are hierarchies based like strictly off power. It depends on the hierarchy, obviously.
What a fucking delusional, idiotic, moronic fucking take, dude.
And some hierarchies are defended by morality. What? What are you talking about, bro? That's not a moronic take. This is a moronic take on a absolutely normal take to have, right?
To human beings, because other people could take that job in their stead.
Reciprocity and skill and trust. Not always. And if you're in a job where you work hard and you're a good guy and you're doing your best and your boss is a bloody tyrant and you never get a break, it's like, okay, fine. You're in a Foucault world. Get the hell out of it.
You're in a Foucault world.
Get your resume set up, write your CV.
Wait, he didn't say fucko.
What?
I think he was talking about Foucault, right?
Yeah, Foucault.
Like
the philosopher or whatever.
Like the French philosopher.
Yeah.
But the guy thought he was saying fucko.
Right, let's get.
I don't even know how.
Let's
like
keep going.
Foucault.
There
we go.
Fill in the educational gaps that you have. Send out your 25 resumes a day and prepare to make a lateral.
Work hard.
Because you're in a bad place. But almost
absolutely something you could do. My brother, he makes like $200,000 a year now. He would just hammer out his resume and work really hard on his resume and just send them out. Just send them out to people. The best jobs, right? He finally landed a job paying like $80,000 a year. He was like, man, I landed that. I can land me another one. No, not a college grad or nothing, right? He started doing it more and more. Just while he was working at this job that he landed, he was still like looking for the next big job. Just filling out resumes, becoming good at doing interviews. The guy instantly landed another job, like paying way more, right? The guy was just a beast. He was working really, really hard at trying to set himself up for success, and it worked out for him. Congratulations to my brother. But yeah, it paid off. He just worked hard, right?
Virtually everywhere I've worked, and I've had like 50 jobs.
What is the part where we get goosebumps? Because
I mean, obviously, you're not going to get goosebumps if you just come in here just waiting, just prepared to be negative. Like goosebumps is not, and there's no chance. Like, what do you mean? Anyway, guys, I'm going to end it here. Maybe I'll do part 2 of this. This is a very long video, but I just wanted to kind of like show that some people just criticize. They misinterpret the message, right? On purposely. Because I'm sure this guy's not an idiot. He doesn't seem like an idiot. But it seems like, because you can literally take anything and criticize it and make it seem negative if you want to. But obviously this message is a positive message. Obviously, right? So you attacking it just because you want to and trying to highlight parts and you're not making that much sense on your attack, right? But I'm sure his listeners believe that he is making perfect sense because obviously they would be on the same team as him, right? That's how it works. But I appreciate you guys checking me out. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time.